fail to realize the best king is a better servant.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 11. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. First off, I want to thank Yahawah BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahawah BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakakadash. I want to give salutations, brother. Double honors, Salakia, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, who taught me the truth. Salutations to you, brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutations to my fellow brethren that are out there pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. So, the inspiration for this lesson, came from, the opening clip. From that particular rapper, the line he said, and the best king is a better servant, and I just wanted to kind of highlight that, because we are servants of Yahawah BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and at the same time as we're serving the Lord Yahweh and Yahawashi, right, we are also to be serving our brethren that are laboring, our fellow labormen, in this truth. We have to always try to be mindful of edifying the body as well as edifying the people, because we're all it's a body, but at the same time we're supposed to be building each other up so that we can all become better teachers. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Salakia if I lost anybody. and for the new listeners, Salakia means forgive me in the Hebrew. So if I lost anybody for that, but I wanted to highlight the fact that how the King of Kings, our Lord and Savior Yahawashi, right, our big brother, is the King of Kings, right? Because he greatly humbled himself, right, above any man that ever walked this earth, right? He was greatly exalted above any man, rightfully so, right? It's beautiful how Yahweh works, So I wanted to stress in this lesson, for the certain men in Israel that may have positions of authority or whatnot, to learn how to practice, if they're not, to learn how to practice humility more, and practice being edifying and building, which edify, right? You know what, let's start off with that. Let's get that first. So this is 1 Thessalonians 5, and let me see, let's start at 9. So 1 Thessalonians 5 and 9. For the Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. So I'll read it in the NLT, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 11. So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing, right? So there's a lot of importance in edifying, man. And I've in my short walk, I've seen men that lack in this department, to just to keep it brief, you know what I mean? and that's not a good quality, because we're supposed to be following after the doings and trying to be as like-minded as possible to Yahawashi, man, who is a perfect servant to Yahweh and to his people, you know. And I'm going to prove that Abrabatazat, you know, and then show, you know, that Yahweh himself does not like wicked servants, man, you know. So we, you know, one of the commandments is love thy brother as thyself, man. So I would never you know, tell a brother to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do myself, you know. And a quick you know, like a quick story that's that I learned through experience, you know. I've noticed that when I have if I'm working for somebody, right, I have way more respect for them. Well, one, when, you know, when they talk to me as a man, when they don't try to belittle me, first and foremost, right, when they actually try to help me and build me up and make me, you know, a better employee or whatnot, however, you know, whatever the situation is. But when they're in the you know, in the thick of it with me, you know, they're actually doing what they're trying to tell me to do, you know. That's way more respectable as a man to another man, when you see that this man is walking in how he talks it, literally, you know. Not somebody that's, you know, talking a good talk, but then, you know, as soon as, when the rubber meets the road, when it's time to, you know, to see if this man is truly about what he's been preaching about, you know, there's a lack, you know, that, you know, that's not a that's basically being a hypocrite, man, you know. So, you know, one of the things I always say to my wife about my father-in-law, her father, is, you know, anytime that man calls me, if I'm available, I'll work for him. You know why? Because he always made it a point to never try to exalt himself over me. Even though I was learning under him, he always continued to encourage me and teach me things, you know, in hopes that if I wanted to, I can go out, you know. And this is like in kind of like construction and like what's it called when you do electricity, damn, I don't know why it's leaving me right now, but you know, but working in houses, you know, damn, electricians, you know. So teaching me in that, you know, different aspects and stuff. So he would always encourage me and edify me, right, to build me up, to be better, to for the job that we were doing. And every time that he would do this, the next time that we would go, I would be that much better. So it actually would make the job in general easier. So it's actually a good thing. You know, it's very beneficial to build up the men around you, you know, to continue to study, you know, continue to quiz each other, you know, to continue to encourage each other, you know, and you know, make each other better teachers. Because then when we go out to the highways and byways, the men that are around you are just that much stronger, you know. Instead of, you know, taking the selfish route and like, well, I know it, well, you know, well, y'all brothers, you know, y'all got to do your studying. But yeah, it's more than just saying it. You got to be active in it, you know, how Yahawashi was, you know, he was active with the disciples, man. So let me get a few scriptures, and you know, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, you know. So let me get the definition of, because we're talking, we know the best king is a better servant, right? So I want to get the definition for serve, right? So serve in the online etymology dictionary is from late 12th century, and it means to render habitual obedience to, also minister, give aid, give help, to do duty towards, show devotion to, set table, serve at table, offer, provide with, be a servant, be in service, even be enslaved, right? We are prisoners of hope. We are prisoners of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, right? Be devoted, be governed by, comply with, conform, flatter, originally be a slave, so you know that's the point right there, you know. So to give help, minister, give aid, right? To help build up, to help edify, you know. So I want to give an example of how important it is to Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI that we keep the commandments, to the point where in the book of Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel, there's, you know, so when we're speaking about the kings, right? The first king of Israel was Saul, right? Because, you know, our people always wanting to be like the heathen, you know, desired to have a king. So the Lord said, you know, they vexed Samuel, the prophet Samuel. And the Lord said, yeah, you know, basically don't worry about it, Samuel. I'll give them what they want. And he got the man Saul from the tribe of Benjamin to be the king of Israel, you know, the first king of Israel. So so this account I'm gonna, you know, read Samuel 1 and 15. I'm gonna, you know, read it as you know, as much, you know, I'm pretty much gonna read the whole chapter, but you know, I'm not gonna try to make this video too long, you know. But I just want to highlight the difference between how the king that is a good servant and the Lord that he'll love, and a king that is not a good servant, right? That the king will that Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI will not show favor to, right? So this is 1 Samuel 15 and 1, and it reads, Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord Yahweh sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Excuse me. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them, and Telaim 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. Now already he's not following what the Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI commanded him to do, right? What did he say right here? Samuel told him that the Lord said to go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, spare nothing. And what did he do? He spared, already saying he spared Agag, right, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, and they destroyed utterly. that they destroyed utterly. Excuse me. Then came the word of the Lord Yahawah unto Samuel, saying, It repented me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahawah all night. Right? Because the best king is a better servant. He's not being a good servant. He was supposed to do, because the Lord Yahawah literally remembered what these devils, these small hatters did to us when we were coming out of Egypt, right? They laid wait for us, right? So the Lord's like, here, I'm giving them into your hands. Go destroy them utterly, all of them. This is your payback. It is a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to them that trouble thee, right? So the Lord gave them into our hands. That was a beautiful thing that Yahawah did to Saul. Put that before him to be able to destroy the enemies of Israel. And to not do that it's like a slap in the face, you know? So it says, 11th verse, It repented me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me. He's not being a good servant, right? And have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahawah all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of Yahawah. I have performed the commandment of the Lord Yahawah. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? Right? Because the Lord had commanded Saul to slay utterly old and young. Let's say slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And then so he says this, Saul says this to Samuel, and Samuel says, well, if that's true, then why do I hear in sheep and oxen in the background, so to speak, right? 15th verse. And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto Yahawah thy power, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. And Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what Yahawah hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Saul said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And Yahawah anointed thee king over Israel, right? When you was basically abased, did not Yahawah anoint you to be king over all Israel? He he exalted you, right? This was prophet Samuel was saying, right? And Yahawah sent thee on a journey, and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners of the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of Yahawah, of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of Yahawah? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yahawah, and have gone the way which Yahawah sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahawah thy power in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Hath the Lord Yahawah as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams, right? So it, like the title of the lesson, the best king is a better servant, right? Servant unto Yahweh by YAHAWASHI, and through that, a servant unto your brethren, to build them up so that they could be better servants unto Yahweh by YAHAWASHI as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that. So for I'll get 23 real quick. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh by YAHAWASHI. He hath also rejected thee from being king. Right? And this is when King David basically came into play. So I'll just read this 2 verses on King David, and showing how Yahweh loved King David. 1 Kings 15:4. Nevertheless, for David's sake, right, King David, did Yahweh his power give him a lamp in Jerusalem, right? Lamp being like light, to set up his son King Solomon, right, after him, and establish Jerusalem. Because David did what, right? Because David which was right in the eyes of Yahweh, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. So Yahweh loved David so much. Why? Because he did what the Lord commanded him to do, as opposed to Saul, right? So that that's a couple examples of being serving Yahweh and YAHAWASHI, right? Well, when YAHAWASHI came on the scene, he gave us a great example of being a servant as well, right? Well, let's get this real quick. As YAHAWASHI said, John 4:34, YAHAWASHI saith unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work, right? A servant, a faithful servant. So now let's get so this is John 13:1. Now before the feast of Passover, when YAHAWASHI knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil having now put the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, YAHAWASHI, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from the Most High, and went to the Most High, he rises from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. After that he poured water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded, right? So the King of Kings, right, the second in command of the whole universe, was humbled in himself so much to be a servant onto his disciples, that he actually got down and washed their feet, right? And even Peter's gonna speak on this. They're gonna talk about it, right? So 6th verse, then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, doest thou wash my feet? YAHAWASHI answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Peter saith unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet, right? Because he's like, you're the King of Kings. Why will you wash my feet, Lord? I'm just, But this is the the point of the lesson, because the greatest king is a better servant, man. That's how great YAHAWASHI truly is, man. He's above anything, everything that in this world. He far surpasses everything, man. And that's why he's highly exalted. That's why Yahweh highly exalted him, and he sits on the right hand of Yahweh. you know. So Peter saith unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Right? Because he was also, as much as he was a servant unto Yahweh, his father, right, the heavenly father, he was a servant unto his people, right? He was a servant unto his people, and that's the message that I'm trying to push to the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahushai, of the importance of not only serving Yahweh by Yahushai, but being there for brothers, man. You know, because when we go out to the highways and byways, yeah, we are serving the Lord and we are trying to fish for the elect, you know, but also you got to make sure that the men around you are good too, man. You know, that they're continuing to learn, that, you know, that their situations are able to be handled, and you know, and you know, they're able to come out there. You know, you got to know their situations, you know. So this is yeah, John 13 and 9. Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Yahushua saith to him, He that is washed needeth not to save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not at all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore he said, Ye are not clean at all. Excuse me. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was set down again, he said unto them, Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me Master and Lord, and ye say, Well, for so I am. Then if I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye do these things, happy are ye if ye do them. You know? So the best king is a better servant, you know? Let's get let me see, this is Samuel right here. Let me get this one with John, and I think, you know, through the spirit, you know, I think I've made the point. Let me see what this one says. Salakia. Yeah, let me read this. So this is Apostle Paul, right? So according to my earnest expectations and my hope, that is nothing I shall be ashamed, but that with all boldness as always, so now also Hamashiach shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. For to me to give life is the anointed, right? And to die is gain, right? But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose, I wot not. For I am straight betwixt two, having a desire to depart, and to be with Hamashiach, which is far better, right? So what Apostle Paul is saying right here, he's in a straits, like he's in a tough decision between two things, having a desire to depart and go back to the spiritual realm to be with Yahushua Hamashiach, right? Which is far better because he will be at rest. But what does he end up saying? 24. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you, to be a servant unto the elect of the nation of Israel, right? This is what Apostle Paul is saying. And having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you, all for your furtherance and joy of faith. Your furtherance, right? You know, like to edify you, to build you up, right? To build the brothers up. That 26, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Yahushua Hamashiach for me by my coming to you again. Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Hamashiach, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. You know, and yeah, you know, that's pretty much the point. You know, this Apostle Paul was showing how much of a servant he was being. You know, let's read. Let me see. Is this Salakia? Why? Yeah, well, you know, yeah. So let me read this. Philippians 2:1. If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Yeah. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Yeah, so you know, that's pretty much the point. You know, I wanted to stress that, you know, YAHAWASHI want us to be show each other love, man. Edify each other. Not only edify the hopeful elect out there, the you know, men and women that will come up while we're at camps or that listen to our videos and whatnot, but also each other. You know, because we are a body, man. You know, and you know, you how do I say it? Well, like I had told the brothers yesterday, you know, in our camp, you know, when I think about 300, the movie 300, you know, when you're holding your shield, right, the man next to you on each side of you, if their shields are faulty, you know, that's really a kink in the armor, man. If they're not studying like they're supposed to be, if they're not reading, you know, if they don't if we don't work on breakdowns together and speaking and teaching each other these different things, then that means, you know, there's basically, yeah, kinks in the armor, man. You know, and you know, with the example we have with the apostles and elders, man, it's thorough, man, and it shows through their fruit. You know, the elders that, you know, the elders that came after them, and the elders, you know, in Boston that we listen to, those brothers are thorough, man. Our big brothers in the GMS Boston camp, those brothers are thorough. You know, they go into it, man. They, you know, so watching there, like the scriptures say, mark the perfect man, for the end of that man is peace. So if we're watching them and they're doing, you know, what the Lord commanded them to do, if we follow in those steps, that means if their end is peace, that means our end will be peace too. You know, but my point is that all of the men in the camp, in the unit, right, and you know, on that same mission, you know, they all should be being built up and encouraged to continue to go further and to continue to learn more and more, you know. So you know, I want to thank YAHAWASHI once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. You know, it's imperative that we continue to push, to strive, to build each other up, you know, because, you know, the best king is a better servant, man. You know, and YAHAWASHI said we are joint heirs with him. So he is the King of Kings, and we will, you know, the men of Israel will, you know, are fighting and striving to be, you know, crowned by YAHAWASHI, man. You know, the elect men, you know. So, you know, like as it says in Second Ezra, the 2nd chapter, man, you know, he crowned, you know, the young man that was taller than the rest, and he put crowns upon their head. And Ezra marveled greatly at the men that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh by Shai, man. We're fighting to be, of that number. And part of the fight is to make sure that we are being the best servant unto Yahweh by Shai, and inherently the best servant that we can to our fellow brethren that are laboring with us in the same mission, man. Because that's exactly what Yahweh Shai did, man. He humbled himself so much that he washed the feet of the disciples, and he was greatly exalted, man. So like I said, the water Yahweh by Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai by Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, who taught me the truth. I want to give salutations to you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutations to my fellow brethren that are out there pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom.